Most of you in your professional or academic career at some point have been herded into a room with a group of people, many of whom you might generously consider to be knuckle-dragging Neanderthals. And then some facilitator will stand up and inform you all that you're going to be participating in a brainstorming activity. And then they say it. Perhaps the worst saying ever uttered in a conference room, "There's no such thing as a bad idea." What? Are you insane? Of course there's such a thing as a bad idea. The very idea that there's no such thing as a bad idea is itself a really freaking bad idea. Now, we all recognize bad ideas when we see them intuitively, like using an ass tattoo on a stripper to promote your candidacy for school board. Now that would be a really bad idea. Yet we all go around chanting the mantra, "There's no such thing as a bad idea. There's no such thing as a bad idea," like mindless zombies. Why do we do that? Well, Matt, there's no such thing as a bad idea is the first rule of brainstorming. No, it's not. There's no such rule. That is actually a perversion that was come up with by some loser full of bad ideas so he and his friends could feel included. But there are rules to brainstorming. The idea of brainstorming was popularized by a guy named Alex Osborne in the 1950s. Ironically, this guy was in one of the only professions who you're never held accountable for really atrocious ideas. That's right, he was an ad executive. So the 4 rules that he had for brainstorming were: number 1, focus on quantity. Number 2, encourage wild ideas. Number 3, build on the ideas of others. And number 4, withhold criticism. Now, withhold criticism. That might sound a little bit like there's no such thing as a bad idea, but there's an important difference. Withholding criticism is not denying the existence of bad ideas. It's recognizing that an idea is really bad, but stopping yourself before you call it stupid out loud. But fundamentally, brainstorming is a numbers racket that banks on the fact that most ideas suck. You throw out enough ideas, maybe you get a nugget. And if you do, and this is really important, you build on top of that nugget until you come up with exactly one great idea. Unfortunately, this process has been molested by Peter-principled suits. And by shifting from withholding criticism to no such thing as a bad idea, we've spun into a downward spiral of ineptitude. The first thing that we've done is that we involve everybody in brainstorming. Every half-witted, underperforming, undereducated, unmotivated, inexperienced moron, because if there's no such thing as a bad idea, then everybody's got great ideas! It's a horrible idea. If you've got a box of needles, you don't throw them into the hayfield. Effective brainstorming is about selecting strategically people from across disciplines that have not only the capability, but the willingness to contribute to the generation of the one great idea. The second thing that we do is we've convinced everybody that they have really great ideas. Because if there's no such thing as a bad idea, then your ideas must be good or better. And as a result, people cling to their bad ideas like gold. Now remember the third rule? Build on the ideas of others. If we are unwilling or incapable of acknowledging that our own ideas suck, then we will never be able to recognize the potential greatness in the ideas of others. Ideas don't congeal. We can't leave the bad ideas behind, and we never get to the one great idea. Brainstorming is a take-no-prisoners quest for greatness. It's not some feel-good kumbaya for mediocrity. So you have to decide, do you want a bunch of smiles and a bunch of really bad ideas, or do you want one great idea? The third thing that we do is we marginalize creativity. We treat it like a rote skill, like spelling or memorizing multiplication tables. We can force people to read Nietzsche, but we can't make them understand it. And lastly, we focus on the means, not the ends. Brainstorming is not a victory. Executing on the one great idea successfully is the victory. So stop protecting your bad ideas, rally around your great ideas, and focus on execution. There is such a thing as a bad idea. There is. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of bad ideas, because they are necessary to get to the one great idea. But they're still really bad ideas. So let's just call them what they are so we can move on. If you want to come up with a really great idea, what you need to do is assemble the right, really great people. And you need to get people that know what bad ideas are and can recognize them so they can either discard them or build upon them so that they can get to the one great idea. I'm Matt Galloway, and I believe in bad ideas. Thank you.